students or participants are still joining. Let's get started in the interest of time of everyone. So let me share my screen today. Can someone confirm? Can you see my screen?
Yes, sir. It's visible.
Perfect. Yeah. Okay. A quick introduction. I'm Suman Kumar Kandimalla. I am one of the engineering manager working in Boeing India Private Limited based out of Chennai. I have total 20 years of experience in various areas like now I'm into people management. Earlier I worked in project management for a couple of years. Before I worked as aerospace interior design engineer, tool design engineer, manufacturing processes, planning, also as aircraft maintenance manual illustration and so on. So I have a master degree, MBA through BITS in consultancy management and bachelor's in BTech in mechanical engineering from JNTU, Hyderabad. So I'm a certified project management professional from last 6+ years. I do have I'm also internal auditor for AS9100 quality. It's about aerospace standards where quality validation things happen. Okay, so that's my brief intro. And the topic today is, I'm just going back to show the topic. It's about project management and how it is important, why it is important in the area of what you're working today on a project, UAV or UAS, you are working on part of Aerothon conference, right? So just want to touch upon few basics of project management. Also, what are the phases of project management and why it is important to know and how it is connected to your project, what you're working today, and so on. Okay. Uh, so if it is possible, maybe we'll keep this little bit interactive at least. I'll be asking few questions, very fundamental, and if you can answer, that will be great. What do you mean a project is? What is a project in your terms? Can anyone guess or answer it? Is it your academic project or the project you are doing today? So what do you mean by that? Any responses? Okay, I don't see anything, but let me continue. Yeah, a project is a temporary endeavor undertaken to create a unique product, service, or a result. So we'll see little deeper. For every word here, little understanding needed. A key characteristic of a project is it's a temporary thing. Means has a defined start and end date. One simple example: the project you are doing, Aerothon, there is a start date and end date and by when you have to complete and submit the things. So that's a project. Even your academic project or anything is a project. Okay, so it's a temporary thing. It's not like a keep going for years and years and no end, not like that. Okay, and clear objectives, yeah, aims to achieve specific goals and outcomes. There should be clear goal or outcome defined. Okay, unique output, deliver something new or different, not a routine or ongoing work. One simple example I can say here for easy understanding, a new car, suppose take any car manufacturer, Hyundai or Volkswagen or anyone, developing a new car. So from a conceptual phase to design and test and finally, yes, this is approved for any selling or whatever it is. So that's a project. However, they start production once they take the orders from the customers or everyone. So that's going to be ongoing thing. That cannot be called as a project, though there are a lot of operations will be going on. It's kind of operation in nature. However, the first phase of it is a project. Okay, that's how it is. Deliver something new or different, outcome. It's a progressive elaboration, means develops in steps and continues to be defined as more information becomes available. It means it will keep the more and more information, the more and more requirements comes, it will be progressing over a period of time. Then resources, utilize resources such as definitely time, money, people, material, and etc. It's everywhere. So one more small thing we need to consider is resources are limited. You'll not have unlimited amount of time, unlimited amount of money or people or material. So it's about a project is definitely consists of all these elements. Any quick thoughts based on these examples? Anyone wants to quote an example about a project which I asked starting of this slide? Okay, we'll see some examples further. What is a project management? We saw what is project, but what is project management? In simple terms, managing a project, right? So yeah, but there is some definition. If you see on the top right, there is a logo, PMI, Project Management Institute. It is one of the prestigious institute or a body of experts or something, where it defines the project management methodologies, process, tools, and guidelines. They revise the things, upgrade things in a certain frequency. And the certification what I completed, project management professional, it is from PMI. It is one of the renowned certification in project management world, along with agile and other stuff. Okay, so let's see quickly the definition. Project management is the application of knowledge, skills, tools, techniques to project activities to meet project requirements. It's about meeting the requirement. That's what we just discussed in the starting. It's the practice of planning, organizing, executing the tasks needed to turn into a brilliant idea into a tangible product or service or deliverable, which we spoke about it in the previous slide. It is the same, this is the art of handling the project. Okay, uh, let's see a small video. Okay, uh, introduction to project management, what it does, what happens in project management. This is from I had to take from Zoho projects, where it's a nice video I just observed and thought to share with you today. Please confirm the audio. I'll just play and pause for a while, and please confirm the audio. Can you hear the audio? Were you able to hear the audio?
No, sir.
No? Okay, let me. Okay. Stop sharing, and I have to reshare it with certain. Okay, so share computer audio. Okay. Okay, now I'm playing once again. Please confirm.
Yes, sir.
Perfect. Yeah, let me continue it. Okay.
Look around yourself and there is a project underway. Whether you are manufacturing a new car model, or constructing the world's tallest building, or even organizing a grand wedding, we all manage products every day, big and small. Not everything needs an extensive oversight. For instance, cooking a meal for yourself does not require that much planning. However, cooking meals for the entire neighborhood or for the entire town is a serious affair. You need to plan, gather resources, and have a timeline in place. This needs a proper management. However, about 50% of companies don't understand the importance of project management. So what is project management? Simply put, project management is about knowing what you want to achieve, how you are going to achieve it, how much time it will take to achieve. It's a set of practices that strategically lead you to your goal in an efficient way. This is because project management ensures you go through the 5 stages of a project: initiation, planning, execution, monitoring and controlling, and closing. Initiation is when you find out what you're doing, why you're doing it, and who is involved in the project. Planning lets you outline the details of your project, such as a timeline, cost, resources needed, risks, and quality. Execution is where you start working on your project and ensure everything stays on track. With monitoring and controlling, you compare your real-time progress to the original plan and take measures when errors occur. And closing is wrapping up your project, analyzing what's been done, and noting what could be done better the next time. Project management doesn't just improve your productivity, it also provides a foundation for better collaboration between team members. It helps you get the right people to work on the right jobs, makes you ready to manage any risks that may arise, and allows you to get your work done on time, all the time.
Okay. Yeah, so you saw what is project management is at high level. It's explained there, like initiation.
Imagine you're the manager of a
1
supermarket
second.
chain.
1 second.
You've noticed that 2 things need
I'll close this app. Right. So yeah, project management is anything you manage the project. One of the simple example, it's been mentioned there in the video, cooking for yourself doesn't require much planning. However, cooking for a event like a small birthday celebration or a wedding or something, it needs a lot of planning. Now this is the season of Ganesha. So Ganesh Chaturthi just happened 2 days ago, and every corner of the street or some areas, they'll put the Lord Ganesha there, and they do the rituals every day, 5 days, 3 days, 5 days, 11 days, 9 days, based on the thing, and then it'll go, they'll go and immerse into the water. Okay, so for all this, it's a project. Okay, it needs their regular planning, and who will every day rituals has to happen, some prasadam has to be distributed, or light setup, music, it has to happen every day. And the final day and the immersion of idol, for that also there is a planning. And for that you need to do some legal things like get police approval or local municipality approval, where the Ganesha has to be immersed, all the stuff. This is project management. Okay, that happens during planning. And if you see how many we discuss, like a lot of people, a lot of resources involved, and some regulatory bodies involved, like police, municipality, or an AP, and other stuff, obviously money involved. So all these together, we have to kind of orchestrate, like how to do that in a way so that it will happen as planned. So planning, execution, and so on. Let's go a little deeper. Project management approaches. There are 3 project management approaches. One is predictive project management. As name says, it is predictive. You will know things and will manage the project. Adaptive project management, where you will keep adapting to the latest updates or progress or developments or changes. Then hybrid. Hybrid, the name says, it's a maybe combination of the above, predictive and adaptive. Let's go a little deeper of each thing, and let's see some examples for each of the way project handles. Okay, predictive project management. Yeah, as I said, if you see the just bold text, if you want to read it, go ahead. The bold text, if you see, well defined and stable at the beginning. Okay, so all well defined project requirements, product requirements will be available at the starting. The second bullet, yeah, emphasizing. Let me take the pointer. Yeah, emphasizes detailed planning and execution. Yeah, so to perform all the tasks till end of the project, detailed planning and execution has to be planned, and follow a traditional method of where each phase is completed before the next one begins. So first step one has to happen, then step two, then step three, then step four, or phase one, phase two, phase three, phase four. That's how predicting project management works. So these are the some examples. If anyone want to participate, little interactive, I'm okay. If you want to guess or have comment or want more information, I'm perfectly fine. As I'm not hearing much, I'm just continuing with the examples. Please raise your hand if you have anything. We can further discuss. Okay. So these are some of the examples. Aircraft, definitely. I from Boeing, I know how big it is to develop or build a aircraft. Okay, so it's a huge project management thing. It's a kind of predictive. Then a dam or even metro, what we see regularly, 4 years project, 5 years project, even dam sometimes take 5 to 7 years. These are all predictive. There is a specific outcome, and phase by phase they do. First, for the dam or metro, they need land, they need whether that land is able to withstand those pillars and the plan, and how far it has to go, all the stuff. This is often called, this predictive project management methodology often called waterfall. You might have heard what is waterfall. It is like a phase by phase. First planning happens, then design, then test, then review, then launch. So this is called a waterfall of project management. Any quick thoughts, comments? If you have, I'll pause for 5 seconds, then move to the next one. Okay. Adaptive. As we said, name says adaptive. It is like more adaptive to the environment. So ideal for projects where the requirements are subjected to high level of uncertainty. Means we don't know much details or requirements starting of the project, all volatility. Okay, that's how where this is all adaptive, and things will change throughout the project. As and when the information available, it will be keep iterative and incremental approach. Okay, in phase one we'll do only this part, phase two we'll do the next part, likewise, and allowing more flexibility and adoption, encourages continuous collaboration and embrace change as a natural part of the process, because that's how the agile or adaptive project management works. I said the example is agile all software development, most of the apps we see today, websites, any products we see, all are of agile adaptive planning, where certain phase they develop certain portion, then they release, or they upgrade in the next release or next version of it. You might have heard upgraded, or even our phones will get all updates in their OS. Let it be sometimes cyber security issue comes, so they fix it and roll out the patch to all the users. So agile works like that, based on the new things and all. Okay, and not only software, even iterative product development also can happen. So again, phase one, this is what will happen, iteration 2, iteration 3, or something like that. All right. Yeah, moving to the next one, which is easy to understand, the hybrid. As I said, the name says it's hybrid, combination of both predictive and adaptive. It's ideal for the projects with varying degrees of certainty and flexibility. Means you may not know the complete requirements, but a good amount of requirements, so you can get started with that. And some requirements or things will come over a period of time in phased manner. That's how this hybrid project management will work. Even in this, so if you see some project elements to be well defined and constant, while others are subjected to change. Not everything can change. If everything is changing, it goes back to the adaptive, where some of the things are constant and few are not so fixed or things like that. So we can use the hybrid methodology, hybrid project management. Same phase one, yeah, phase one, phase two, phase three. These are all the defined milestones, or defined well before. However, within phase one, there are some changes or some iteration, or trial and error needed, progress, incremental changes needed. That's how in phase one they do. It's a small kind of agile thing happens in phase one. They deliver something, and phase two, yes, phase three, like that. It's kind of overlap of both of that. Any more thoughts? Okay, moving on, phases of project management. This we saw in the video. Initiation, planning, execution, monitoring and control, closure. Okay, these are the 5 phases as a overall in project management, irrespective of predictive or agile, adaptive, or even hybrid. So these are the phases. They'll have certain overlaps here and there. It may not be sequenced in every time, but these are the broad 5 phases in a project management. Let's go a little deeper, each section by section. I'll be so happy if it is little interactive. I know less participation here. Okay, project initiation. Project initiation, yeah, a project is formally authorized and its basic framework established, which means during the initiation phase of the project, where the project is authorized and framework is established, that's what initiation phase happens. There is the goal and feasibility or all the one second, I'm just bringing in the pointer. Yeah, so the purpose of the project, goals and feasibility, all stakeholders will be identified in this phase of the project, initiation phase of the project. And there are certain documents will come as an outcome of this initiation phase. Business case, flexibility, feasibility study. We will see one by one in the bottom. We have some more information there, and the outcome is a decision on whether to go ahead with the project or not. This is the phase. It will be clearly mentioned. Uh, if you have seen any Shark Tank kind of things, they will validate and verify is this project is viable. Hey, I have this much sales, I am planning to this much and all. There will be questions, counter questions by sharks, and they'll understand. The sharks will understand whether this is feasible or not. Then they bid. So the initiation phase will give that sense whether this is viable project or not. Okay. So how do they do? Okay, there are a couple of tools. What are the benefits and opportunities of doing this project, and what are the costs and risks, and feasibility study, how it is feasible to do, suppose a brand new product, where in the EVs world, now suppose we want to roll out a car which is like a 90s model. Is it feasible today? That we need to see. That's what in initiation phase it's get decided. Okay, for this generation or for this kind of technology upgrades and the environmental focus, sustainability, maybe this project doesn't work. So that's how it happens in feasibility study, and further in business case, what are the pros and cons and all the stuff will happen. So there is one more deliverable of this phase is project charter. Project charter will have all of this information. I'm just zooming in a little bit to show you the vision of the project, the finance, the budget at overall, the project structure. These are all at broader level. It will not go in very detailed level of the project, but at a broader level. Who is the project manager to be executed, implementation, high level risks, issues, budget and responses, and project close. There will be certain elements in this business case or charter. When do we have to exit this project? Okay, suppose, hey, we can make this much profit, or if we foresee this situation, we have to exit the project. Even that also will be defined in project charter. Okay, one second. Yeah, the next one is stakeholders. Stakeholder analysis means first identify the stakeholders. Who are all the stakeholders? What's their interest? What's their interest in this project? What's their power in this project? Okay, so based on that, stakeholder analysis will happen. If you see these 4 quadrants, if anyone has high interest in the project and high power in this project, they have to be managed closely. And the opposite side, if someone has low interest and low power, we don't need to worry much about that stakeholders. Then we have to just monitor who is the stakeholder is there. Okay. First of all, who is the stakeholder? The stakeholder who has any stake in the project, let it be very small or a huge. whatever it is, if there is some impact about from a person on this project, what is the impact on this project from that individual? So that person is a stakeholder. Uh, for example, in this Aerothon conference, SAE India is one of the biggest stakeholders. Some sponsors, your universities, your faculty, your guides. These are all the stakeholders. And there are other major stakeholders which we haven't discussed, are majorly from where you are buying the parts to make the the UAV, suppliers, the raw material, the machining, assembling, or the equipments, testing equipments, who are the supplying. All these are all the stakeholders. So we have to have a plan how to manage those stakeholders. That's how stakeholder analysis is important in any project. Okay. Okay, so it's about project initiation. So where again the high level things happen, we will know what is the goal, what's outcome, what should be the outcome. The next phase is planning phase. Planning phase, yeah, this is one of the biggest phase. A lot of planning needed to execute the project. So that's how planning consists of a lot of elements. A detailed strategy developed, including project scope, schedule, budget, one second, resources, risks, and communication plan, etc. So the deliverables are scope management, work breakdown structure. We will see one by one. This is a scope management, which means how to manage the scope. What if there is a change in scope? Assume uh, assume it will not happen. SA India comes back, hey, and say, hey, this Aerothon competition scope change altogether. So it's a very hypothetical, but I'm just telling that also will be assessed. How to define, how to assess those changes and how to validate that. That's scope change or scope management. And the next one is work breakdown structure. Work breakdown structure is in simple terms, how the work at major level will be divided. Okay, now it's a huge project. Then what are the major phases? Then split down what each phase consists of. Part number like step 1, step 2, step 3 are phase 1, phase 2, subsection 1, 2, 3. That's how work breakdown structure. So we can go to the deeper level where at work package level means uh, as simple as order your small a chip or electronic item from so and so vendor. So that is can be a least one, or even complete the drawing, work on a drawing. So that can be a least part of the work breakdown structure. The highest level is the project. The next one, this is the project plan with certain timelines, project management plan with certain timelines. The WBS will be expanded to a level. Suppose if you see the simple example 2.1, follow up with client is one of the action where who is going to do that action, what is the start date, what is the end date, what is the duration of that. So this kind of plan, a project management plan with all the tasks defined, who will do that, what is the timeline, and kind of dependencies and so on will be covered in project management plan. This is one of the deliverable from the planning phase. And then the risks, assess risks. Sorry, first identify the risks. One example is risk. A simple example of a risk is suppose tomorrow have an exam, important exam to attend. In the morning 9:30. So considering the risk of it's a peak time in the morning, considering the factor like traffic and maybe some, if you see any road diversions and so on, you you assess yourself, hey, there is a risk. If I start by this time, there is a risk I may not reach the exam center by then. So I'll start well before. So that's what we'll assess the risks and have the mitigation plans. So even for every project like that, we have to identify the risks, assess them, and have a plan how to manage them. It's again very deeper subject. Like we have a lot of things, type of risks, and what kind of plans you should have to mitigate those risks and what you have to do. So, but it's a deeper subject, by the way. But at high level, at broader level, we should know what are the risks we can foresee. Anything is gonna go wrong. If that goes wrong, what we have to do. No, that's how in planning phase we have to uh, check or work on all these elements. We do have some more in the next slide. Uh, Gantt chart. It's kind of a chart or a visual representation. Uh, like it's the same one which we saw in a table in the previous slide, but it's in a visual representation. You can see where and all we have overlaps, when it starts, when it ends, and so on. There are a lot of tools for this, but at high level, Gantt chart is one of the tool we can use for planning. Okay. And quality management. Yeah. So whether whatever we are going to make or trying to make, is it meeting the requirements in terms of quality? You should have a plan, how we can define it met the requirement. There is a quality check. If that is not happening, what to do? Everything will be planned here. Okay. And control quality means suppose to maintain that consistently, what to do, the quality. The next one is communication plan. This is also important. When and how we have to communicate. uh, Maybe one of the example of your aerothon again. uh, yeah, suppose there was certain phases per the aerothon on the brochure I see. Phase one, you have to communicate, complete your design and so on. In phase two, you have to build it. So for every phase, there is certain milestones. Obviously, hey, before doing this, you have to do this. So for that, there is a certain communication needed. That also we have to plan. What kind of communication we have to do, with whom, at what frequency, and who is going to do that, what's the medium. All this stuff will be defined, can be defined in communication plan. Okay. The next one is cost management plan, where cost point of view, what and all to be controlled. Maybe it's not a huge thing, not sure about your university funding and so on, but it at aerothon level, yeah, you have to manage, but this is very important to keep a check on cost, whether it is within the limit of budget or not, because a lot of decisions happen based on the budget. Suppose you wanted to buy something for the project which is like out of your planned budget, then what to do. All this stuff, the estimations will happen, then then you expense it, estimation and budgeting, and then control. All this stuff will be planned well in advance. So likewise, there are multiple tools or techniques we have to do during planning phase. That's how I said it's a huge section. Okay. In entire project management. The next one is execution. Let me take a quick pause, have some water. Meantime, anyone want to comment? Good. Okay. Execution. Yeah, the name says we initiated the project and we have planned it well. All the stuff we saw, work breakdown structure, cost planning, quality planning, everything we did. Now this is the time to execute it. So this is where the deliverables will come out, where whatever we planned, we'll see the outcome of each phase or step or something. So the project plan is put into action and the deliverables are created. Tasks are assigned, project progress is tracked, resources managed, team communication is emphasized. Okay, scope adjustments may occur as project needs evolve. So though we defined scope at starting, part of scope management plan, yes, we can review any small changes needed. Okay, in phase one, we thought like it will deliver this result. However, it did not. So we have to include the remaining portion of the work in phase two. That's how scope adjustments will happen during execution. Yeah, in execution phase, these are the things. Project deliverables is one thing. Change management documents, that's what I said. We will change the scope or change the plan, change in quality plan, change in WBS. All the stuff can happen. Measurement of project activities. Okay, where we are at today. You know where we are at today based on the plan. We started this project a month ago. We have 3 more months left. Where we are at, whether we have like met the expected outcome of a month. So all these things will happen there. And then what else to be done? What identification, what needs to be done. So these are things happen in execution phase. The next one is monitoring and control. Monitoring and control, it's like a throughout all the phases, it spreads. Okay. Though we are saying concurrently with execution, it starts with execution majorly. As I said in the previous slide, in the planning phase, we have to monitor whether we are up to the plan or not. That is kind of little overlap with the monitoring and control. We will check whether it's on the cost planned or timelines and risks and all the stuff. Okay. So there are like multiple, again, change in control, performance tracking we do, risk management we do, quality assurance, and changes. This is monitoring and control, and the final one is the closure. Closure, it can be a simple one by name. Yeah, project is done, handed over things. However, this is one important phase of it. Because it's a formal sign off. It has to be documented in a way. Hey, this is done. And maybe for a example, you submit your project thesis report, and maybe the final viva or something happens, and close with the marks, something like that. Okay. So the final deliverables handed over, client to stakeholder, resources are released, and contracts will be closed, and the team reviews what went well and areas of improvement. So the documentation formal sign-offs are completed in closure phase. So these are again further steps into closure. There are a couple of areas where to be focused, and even celebration is part of closure. Means, hey, we are good, we have done an excellent job, and appreciate, recognize people, all the stuff, Okay, these are all the phases we saw: initiation, planning, execution, monitoring and control, and closure. During my explanation, we said like phase by phase, initiation happens first, then planning happens next, likewise. However, in the real world, it behaves like this. Means initiation starts like this. Even before completing the initiation, the planning starts with the basic information, whatever is available in initiation. Planning starts. The more and more planning peaks up, the initiation will go down, because we will be knowing what to do. That's how planning will continue. Okay. Now, even before planning completes, execution has started. Based on the information available during planning, starting steps of execution will start, and the more and more execution happens, the lesser of planning happens. And the controlling, if you see, it's interesting. It starts from planning to even closure. So monitoring and control is a continuous process. Like everywhere we just check where we are at, are we doing good or not? To that level, we will check, and we'll be doing continuously course correcting things. Okay. That's how controlling is a continuous thing. And then the execution is almost done and it is slowly dipping. That's how closing starts. That's how closing starts. And so, yeah, and it peaks to just before the closing, and the closing happens. That's how these phases are overlap in the real time. Okay. Though we say this is waterfall, no, what one phase has to complete after first phase has to complete before the second phase. Yes, it is. However, the planning things will happen well before that. Okay. Okay. So this like little deeper. I'm not going now. Deeper understanding of project management. This course is like a 35 hours of course mandated by Project Management Institute. This image is from PMBOK, means Project Management Body of Knowledge. So there are like the phases we discussed just now: initiating, planning, executing, monitoring, and control, and closing. These are the phases we discussed. And the knowledge areas, if you see scope, schedule, cost, quality, resource, communication, risk, procurement, and stakeholder. Though we did not go deeper on procurement, but this is one of the important knowledge area, and stakeholder management. So this is how complex or detailed information about the project management. So as I said, it's a 35 hours of course. If anyone interested, once you get into the job, yes, please go ahead and do this course. Okay, this is on project management overall. We have to come back how it is going to help you during your development of your project. All right, so yeah, while designing UAVs, definitely a lot of project management principles are essential for ensuring the success of the project. Okay, now we saw multiple phases of the project, multiple approaches of the project. So what do you think is best suitable for your project? Which project management methodology? Is it a predictive, adaptive, or hybrid? If anyone want to take a guess, you can put in the chat if you want. Okay, I didn't hear any response. Let me go ahead. This is my recommendation. Okay, we have to take the hybrid project management methodology where we know the phases of everything and a lot of iterative works how to happen, because we are trying to develop a new product which is with certain new outcome. So I recommend, this is my personal view, go ahead with the hybrid approach. Okay. And let us see a little more details. What are all the areas you have to focus during initiation phase, planning, execution, monitoring, control, and closing. As far as the
Sir,
timeline, yeah.
can I reshare the PPT, sir? Because it's not moving. It's in execution.
Is it? Let me stop sharing and do it. Yeah. How about now? Can you see the focus areas?
So it's not coming like.
I'm stop sharing, and let me stop my video if it is taking bandwidth, and sharing again. Okay, can you confirm which slide you see?
It's only black screen, sir.
Black screen. Okay. Second. How about now? Can you see my slide deck?
No, sir.
Is it only for you? Oh, someone confirmed. Sarang, thank you so much.
It's my side mistake.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, side.
Yeah, thanks for confirming, Sarang. Okay, focus areas. Yeah, so let us see. As I said, in each phase, there are certain areas you have to focus during your project development. We'll go little step by step. Uh, yeah, you should have clear objectives and scope. Yes, we know the objective, we know the scope of the project, and have all team members are aware of the scope and understand the purpose of the project, and define the boundaries, what to do and what not to do. Okay, what not to be included in the scope. So just want to pull some information from Aerothon point of view. I just pulled some information from the rule book where you are referring to develop your project. The first bullet shows, hey, the objective of this year contest is design, build, so and so, so and so. Okay, that is the scope. And the boundaries. The boundaries are the US must be designed solely by, say, India students, not with a professional. There is a boundary. Hey, who are to be worked? Certain boundary. So from the Aerothon point of view, I just want to connect few elements. Okay, this is the have the objective clear. Uh, have your own organization and team roles clearly defined. Who has to do what within the team? Even the university officials or guides or faculty, including the SA India or in the competition, jury and all the stuff. They will take care of their roles, but you have to be clear what to do so that it will avoid any duplication of your work. So that's how it is important. So yeah, who are all the people? Yeah, I just pulled that same, all team members, faculty, advisories, and university representatives. The third one is planning and scheduling. This is very critical and important. So develop a detailed plan, have your own Gantt chart, have your own work breakdown structure, and critical path method. Maybe we have not seen in the previous slides. This is a critical path, which is you know uh, the maximum the least amount of time it takes to complete the project. If you want, you can browse through that. That's also one of the important way you can plan. So all required tasks to be identified, have the dependency defined, duration and deadlines. So clear schedule helps you to complete the workload. Okay, so from Marathon point of view, the first table shows the timeline. So when you have to do that, that's what I was saying. Phase 2 we are in, which we are developing right now. So the WBS is design, build, fly. Means this is the high level of project. Then you can define the detailed tasks, what to be done in design, what are the steps in build and fly. So that's WBS. And then the dependencies, design, raw material, purchase goods, manufacturing, assembly. So these are all the interdependent. You need a design to be completed before even ordering the raw material. So before you go for a manufacturing, you need the raw material or the goods before you assemble. So define all the dependencies. That's how it helps. The next one is the resource and cost management. Yeah, resource management, we discussed about the people, and the cost management, obviously, it is with the university or college who is sponsoring. So identify all the required resources, apply resource allocation techniques to ensure efficient, established way, and maintain a simple, if not a detailed cost budget, maintain a simple one where we are at in the cost point of view. Okay, so resources are anything is a resource. Men material, budget, lab, software, some expertise or electronics, anything is a resource. Okay, including your small spanner or screwdriver. Okay. The next one is stakeholder engagement and communication. We saw the stakeholder chart in the starting of the slides initiation or initiation phase. Manage the stakeholders, how to manage it. So identify all the stakeholders, establish a continuous, ways of communication. Let it be meetings, share documents, or something. So who are all the resources? As I said, we discussed earlier, faculty, external mentors, sponsors, vendors, and jury members, and everyone are the stakeholders. Next one is a risk management. We took some examples of risk. Have your own examples. Identify your own risk for your project. Okay, have your requirements with you. And what if we don't meet this requirement? have a plan what to do. So that's how identify the risks and consider the supply chain delays, consider the technical feasibility. This is very important. You do a fantastic drone or something, ultimately if that is not meeting the technical feasibility of the requirement, it doesn't meet the purpose of the whole thing. So I have all these things in mind. I assess the risks well in advance, okay, and develop your own risk mitigation strategies. One example I said, start early if you foresee there's going to be traffic tomorrow, okay, something like that. Regularly assess and maintain the record of it. So from Marathon, these are the requirements I just pulled. So payload capacity, they define clearly, propulsion type, communication range, everything is defined. These are the requirements, and assess your own risks based on these requirements. The next one is quality assurance and testing. Yes, we have requirements. Yes, we are doing execution, and maintaining the quality is important, whether we are meeting the requirements while execution. That's how it is. So whether the required flight time is coming, or whether the payload is able to taking or not, safety and controls, the data, all the stuff, and plan multiple phases of validation and testing in every phase, integration, assembly, flight test, and all the stuff. Document all outcomes to inform troubleshooting and improvement. Please document what it failed and what did you do and how it's passed again. That will help in further documentation. Yeah, from Marathon rulebook point of view, technical inspection parameters, flight mission 1, flight mission 2 parameters, a lot of detailed requirements are there, and it has to pass. Your UAV should pass all those requirements. Next one is iterative and collaborative approach. So yes, that's how I recommended go ahead with the hybrid approach, where a lot of iterations have to happen. So to see your expected outcome, and collaboration. Okay, so definitely if you are dividing your team into mechanical parts, electrical parts, or software testing, you should have all the coordination. Ensure seamless integration. Documentation, this is what we discussed. Documentation, yes, document everything, because that is one of the requirement of Marathon rulebook. Design report, Tiger's Cave, like business plan proposal. You should have all your documentation ready, and to prepare this as well. Okay, and it is important in a final reporting point of view as well. Compliance, the final one, the compliance. Yes, we have to meet all the regulatory or compliant requirements. Yeah, I built my UAV and I wanted to fly this over a residential area. Is it allowed? No. So there is some regulation. So know your regulations, know your compliance, and meet all the compliances. And a complete section tells about in Marathon rule book, section 1.3.4 about the rules and compliance. To summarize, yeah, by embracing these project management fundamentals, your UAV like will be structured, efficient, and collaborative, robust, and maximize your chances of building the real world workable UAV. Okay, that's the whole idea of sharing some basic fundamentals of project management. Okay, I'm good with my presentation. We have few more minutes left. Anyone want to have any questions around in which area you're struggling and which technique, or anyone want to share like that? Awesome. Nothing, no doubts. That's great. And yeah, all the best, guys. All the best for your building your UAV, and hope the presentation helps you today.